What else you want to add to this situation?
Well, because of all the stress, which in my normal life, I have a lot of stress. I have fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
And because of all this, it has caused it to flare up majorly. It's bad. Well, I have been getting injections in my back, and I take non-narcotic pain medicine because I am an addict, and at one time I did get narcotics, and they were very strong narcotics, and I received them for a very long time, and I put myself in detox. So we're doing this injections every day, Monday through Friday. So
And this is right now?
Yes, so
okay.
I'm able to work. And one day when I went into Dr. Browning's office, Dave Walton was sitting there at his normal speed trap.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Hillsborough speed trap.
Yeah. Well, the next day I went to leave work, and normally I go out this one way. But I noticed that the traffic was backed up, so I was like, okay, I'll go to the second red light, because that's the red light to go to get out easiest in Leesburg. Well, as I drive by the spot I normally come out of, there sat one of our county cruisers.
Now, let me see, this is Lewisburg?
This is Lewisburg. Okay. And I assume it was Brad Todd. And they followed me, and they pulled off and went to Walmart. Well, I stopped at Rennick, purposely sat there and waited to see if he was following me at a distance, and he wasn't. So I put two and two together that he was down there checking pharmacies to see if I was getting narcotics.
Mm-hmm.
And the 28th, we had hit a deer, and Bill Lewis had fixed our vehicle.
Right.
Well, when they painted the hood, they painted a hair in the hood. So they was trying to buff it out. But the main point is my vehicle was missing out of the parking lot that I normally park.
So I guess somebody assumed that you were going out to get you some drugs, right?
Exactly. Because
okay.
The next morning when I left here, I got to the end of this road, and there was a state police, and he got right in front of me. And I purposely kept going slow.
And slower, and slower.
And slower. And he would brake. And he would keep braking so he could keep me in his sight. And then when he gets to the state police office, he pulls in and stops. He doesn't go all the way in the parking lot. Well, I go on down the road and get there the straight stretch, met another state police. And then when I was turning into Dr. Browning's office, there went Dave Walton.
You get your injections from Browning, right?
Yes.
And that's at Hillsborough?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I know where it's at. Yeah.
He comes in early just so he can give me the injections at 7:45. Well, prior to this, all this going on, I called and I left a message for the sheriff. I said,
you did?
I said, I do not sell pills, and I do not sell drugs. And I said, you can tell Brad Totten that I'm dropping a prescription off at Fritz's today. And you can tell Dave Walton I will be at Dr. Browning's again at 7:45 in the morning. And I said, you can also tell Brad that I'll be at physical therapy across from the hospital on Monday at noon.
That would have been Lewisburg?
Yes.
Okay.
But no, see, I've seen nobody until after the 28th, the 29th, when all this happened, because my vehicle was missing from the parking lot.
Yeah.
But basically, they are investigating us. And that's why they did nothing to protect us. I guess in their eyes, they felt we weren't worthy.
Yeah. And you think it might have been because you live with Jesse?
Yes, it is. Because I have been told by the assistant prosecuting attorney, I have been told by several police, get Jesse out of that house.
They've told you to lie and say that I've hit you just to put me in jail.
So they'd like to get an assault charge or a domestic, if they could.
Yeah.
Where does this all stand now?
Well, right now,
He's been arrested. He's got out with $100
yeah.
with $100
And
fine.
the sheriff and I spoke about this on the phone one day, and
Well, did anybody in the county have any explanation for why it was such a small penalty for?
No.
Thing?
When I spoke, I called the sheriff and I said, I consider rape to be a very serious crime.
Yeah.
And
Did he?
He said, I do too. But he said, there's nothing we could do about it because he's already been sentenced and nothing can be done about it.
So basically, what you'd like to see done is that somebody look at this matter with Josh Wilfong and see why there wasn't a harsher penalty applied.
Yes, and see why they let 5 days go by for him to follow through on his threats, especially knowing that somebody was entering this house, which we was pretty sure was him, and knowing that he lived a half a mile up the road from us.
Right. Now let me ask you: J.L. Clifton was the prosecutor involved in this, right?
I'm not sure who.
No, right, okay.
Who was involved.
But you don't know what their recommendation was, right? Did they recommend this lenient sentence?
I'm assuming they did. Okay. I'd say
they didn't.
J.L. and I've been battling over 2 guns. This has been going on for a long time.
What's his beef with the guns?
Well, they come up here because I told them I wanted Jesse out of here.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Galloway regarding the reason why. And, they searched through his vehicle, they searched through his truck, and it took 8 of them. 8 cops showed up. But when I called on the 911 tape, they asked me if there was weapons here, and I said, yes, there is. Didn't say what kind of weapons. Didn't say they was Jesse's. Well, the person that, when we was on the porch, they asked if there was weapons in the house, and I said, yes, there is. So Brad escorted me in the house, and he went with me. One of the guns was in here, and the other gun was in the bedroom. And I told him, I said, they're my guns. And I said, this one is registered in my name. And I told him this 4 or 5 times.
Registered in your name?
Yes, it's registered in my name. And he said, well, we'll take a photo of it and we'll leave it. And then he was like, well, no, I better take it and a couple days call the prosecuting attorney's office and you can come and pick it up. Well, when I called them, they act like I was a little nutcase and said they was in the state police, that they was state police property. There was no way I could get the guns back. I have...
But you didn't give those guns to the state police, or the state police didn't take those guns, right? It was the county that took the guns, right?
The county and state police.
Oh, okay.
But JL told me, bring your evidence in that they're your guns. I took in the receipt from Walmart for the one and the receipt from the other one where I had bought it, and we even had went and got it, what do you call it, notarized.
So you provided an affidavit in essence that both of the guns were yours?
Yes. And he's like, well, we'll look over this and I'll let you know in a couple days. But when I call back, it's like, you can't have guns. Because you said on the 911 tape that there was weapons in the house.